Hi, I'm here to read an excerpt from Aaron and Me, Works in Progress. Part 1. It was a day that started out extraordinary in its ordinariness. Just as when people in a car accident play the scene over and over again in their minds, wishing upon wish to undo the day, so too did I by the close of that spring day in 1999. That day my world turned upside down. Chapter 1. How it began. Aaron, can you please sit still for a minute? I asked, laughing. My child crept and crumpled up the tissue paper that lined the examining table. I put my hands on his belly, preventing him from falling. He continued to creep, so I just put one hand over my eyes. Where's Aaron? Where's Aaron? I don't see Aaron, I said, looking all around, even under the white examining table. Here. Oh, there you are, I retorted, tickling his belly in mock relief. Tee, my baby chuckled. Well, how is little Aaron? Dr. Azaria asked, coming into the stark white examining room. The odor of formaldehyde permeated the air. Getting to be a big boy, The doctor peered out over her thin bifocals. I noticed her deep wrinkles as she asked, 18 months, are we now? Yes, he's 18 months old today. We're both so excited. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Aaron, happy birthday to you. Not commenting, Dr. Azaria lifted him up and put him on the scale. 22 pounds, a nice healthy weight, the doctor assured me. She took out a tape measure, and 28 inches long, pretty good. His head circumference, she said, draping the measure around his head. Dr. Azaria turned on her flashlight, shining it into Aaron's eyes. Why are Aaron's eyes so swollen, she asked. Are you asking me, doctor? Her question alone sent a red flag to my brain, and I began to feel uneasy. The doctor offered non-committally. Then she began to examine Aaron's skin. She counted his birthmarks, 1, 2, and 3. Please turn him over so he is lying on his belly. Unnerved by the irregularity of counting birthmarks, my hands shook under his tush and head before I gently flipped him over. Red flag number 2 for me. I watched Dr. Azaria feel the bones on Aaron's spine. He walks already, yes, Kim? I set him on his feet and walked to the far end of the room, beckoning Aaron to come to me. When Aaron reached me, Dr. Azaria nodded. You can get him dressed, Kim. Just a minute, doctor. You just counted his birthmarks and examined his spine. Is something wrong? I lifted Aaron onto the examining table to begin the task. He wiggled around again. In the uncomfortable silence that permeated the air for a long moment as Dr. Azaria noted something on the chart. Finally, she said, Kimberly, I would like you to make an appointment with a pediatric neurologist. Pediatric neurologist? Why? I counted to 10 to keep myself calm. Aaron needs to be checked for a condition called neurofibromatosis, otherwise called NF. I felt dizzy, unnerved, and grasped the side of the examining table for a moment, as if the universe shifted. How could one person's words change everything so suddenly? Just this morning I remembered going into the baby's room, dressed in my blue warm-up suit, ready to start the day, and looked out the 4th-floor apartment window at the beautiful spring sunshine. Pretty pink petunias lined the walk downstairs. I had turned to Aaron as he put one leg over the side of the crib. I see you're ready to start the day too, huh, sweetie? I drifted back to the present reluctantly. I must face the doctor even if I don't want to. Neurofibroma? What the heck is that? I asked, feeling the heat rise to my face. It's a condition that some children develop in early childhood. I don't know for a fact that Aaron has it, but he has to be checked. But can you tell me anything about it? Why are you keeping me in the dark about this? Go to the library, Dr. Azaria explained. You can look it up in the Merck Manual for Medical Conditions. Neurofibromatosis, the doctor corrected, turning the doorknob to leave. Wait a minute. What makes you suspect that Aaron may have it? The doctor turned around. Sighing, she came back into the room and shone her light on the birthmarks. You see these? She asked without waiting for an answer. They're called cafe au lait spots. They're the color of coffee. Anyone with 6 or more is suspect for this condition. His spine seems okay. He's walking straight even for a toddler. Let's just see what the neurologist has to report. But, I began. You always told me that I had a healthy child. Tears began to blur my vision. Those assumptions were based on information before this checkup, the doctor said, smiling at me. This new information has to be checked out. It may or may not change everything, she added, leaving the room. How comforting. I began putting Aaron's blue stretchy back on him, remembering how I had changed him earlier that morning at home, my arms cradling his little body as I moved from crib to changing table, sprinkling his bottom with snowy powder as I changed his diaper. I could remember the joy of leaning down to inhale the pure scent of Aaron, mixed with Tal cooing, "You're so delicious, buddy." I turned from that memory and faced dizzying thoughts. How arrogant of the doctor, not even to take the time to give me a full explanation. What is wrong with Dr. Azaria? Another wave swept over me like the ocean, and I sat down. I looked around, but the stupid swivel seat remained the only place to sit and think. And what is this NF stuff all about? What does it have to do with his birthmarks, his spine, his eyes? Would there be other problems too? Why didn't she even write down the name of the condition for me? I pondered all of this as my heart again began to race, palms dripping down with newfound moisture. I faced Aaron, his stretchy, all snapped up. How could anything possibly be wrong with you? I asked him, almost expecting an answer. You're so perfect. Mama, he called, reaching his arms out to me. I picked him up. We have to go to the library, I explained to him as we left the room. I jockeyed my way back to the reception desk and then whipped out my checkbook. I wanted to get this visit all paid off, since most likely it would be our last with the doctor. How could I ever trust her? I needed a pediatrician who talked to me. Chapter 2, The Library. I pushed the stroller quickly out of the doctor's office. Flower, Aaron chirped, putting his hand out to a daisy. Yes, flower, I answered him. We don't have time, Aaron. We have to go to the library, remember? Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it's something like having allergies, where you must immunize yourself and take medications, but it's a livable condition? Finally, we arrived at our destination. Oh darn, the condition had been called what? Such a funny long name, a name that I wished I'd never heard. A payphone beckoned right outside the building. I deposited my change and said to Nurse Trudy, I have to speak to Dr. Azaria right away. I'll see if the doctor is free, Nurse answered. Yes, make sure she is, please. Come to think of it, there had been another time that Dr. Azaria had refused to communicate with me and Hal. Aaron had a virus, fifth disease. Hal asked the specifics of the condition, what we could expect, and how to help Aaron to feel more comfortable. You want me to explain to you in 15 minutes, the doctor had replied, what it's taken me 30 years to study? The woman had an attitude, and we should have left her right then and there. Yes, Kimberly. The doctor's voice sounded tired. What can I do for you? I'm outside the library. What is the name of the condition that you mentioned? Neurofibromatosis. That's right, thank you, I said as the phone clicked off. Neurofibromatosis, I repeated as we walked through the automatic doors into the library. The library seemed devoid of human life. Yes, there were the usual clerks at the checkout desk. The computers had been turned on but weren't used. I noticed walking by. Boy, Aaron called as I pushed past. Boys, I asked myself. I couldn't see a person sitting at a table. Maybe it's better this way, I thought, approaching the reference desk. No chance of meeting anyone I know asking me what I'm doing. Or heaven forbid, what's new. Excuse me, where's the Merck Manual for Medical Conditions? I asked the reference woman quietly. Is there an echo? Did you want the home edition? The 30-ish librarian asked me. That one's more understandable to most of us. I stared at her funky, short haircut with spikes sticking straight up. Her voice seemed so loud in such an empty room. I wrinkled my forehead, fixing my eyes on the woman's silver moon earrings, her spiked brow. Yes, that would probably, be better, I stammered, not sure I wanted to research this at all. I'm afraid of what I'll find, and how will I deal with it? The woman walked over to a shelf and took the volume out. It's much smaller than I thought it would be. Let me know if there's anything else you need, the librarian clapped away. Thanks, I answered, turning to my son. Okay, Aaron, you have to be really, really good here, so Mama can read something important. I know, your favorite book is in the diaper bag. I rummaged for a few minutes. My hands trembled as he placed it into Aaron's hands. Your favorite, Moon Boy. Moon Boy, Aaron repeated happily. I sat down on an orange cushioned chair at the deserted table, moving the stroller next to me. I thumbed through the Merck Manual, looking over the table of contents first. There wasn't a category for neurofibromatosis under childhood conditions and disorders. I thumbed the pages through several times and then flipped back to the index. Finally, I found it under tumors of the nervous system. I read slowly that many children with NF have brown spots called café au lait over their chest, back, pelvis, and knees. Some are born with the spots, others may develop in early childhood. I read slowly that many children with NF have brown spots. Anywhere from age 10 to 15 or sometimes later, small lumps or tumors can develop externally or internally. These tumors are mostly benign and can be removed surgically or by radiation, depending upon where they are. They may develop on nerves, in which case the entire nerve might have to be removed. The tumors tend to multiply. Where are those nerves? Behind an eye? On a spine? Where? At this point, I closed the book, not being able to read anymore. Tears fell down my face. Aaron, with tumors? Repeated surgeries? Possible radiation treatment? And what could have caused this? Could it have been the Clomid that I took to get pregnant? The Excedrin PM the doctor let me take for headaches? My genes? Hal's? Nobody on either side of the family had anything like this that I remember. But I must ask my mother to be sure. Oh my God, I mumbled. I feel as if I'm being sucked funnel-like into a deep, dark hole, one where I'm stuck in the middle. I'm way too far from the bottom, but not close enough to the top to climb my way out. Will I ever be able to get out? I looked down at Aaron, who chewed on the corner of his book. Mama, Kai? He asked, looking up at me. I picked him up from the stroller, held him close to me, smothering his face with kisses. I love you, my Aaron. You are my heart. Let's get out of here. I left the book on the table, holding Aaron and pushing the empty stroller with my other hand as we headed home. Chapter 3. Home. Snappy time, Aaron, I said upon our arrival home. The knob on the musical mobile twisted in my hand over the crib. I kissed him once more. You have sweet dreams, my heart. I could hardly speak. My throat felt so scratchy and parched. I walked into the living room pacing and not knowing what else to do. My thoughts, my emotions, I'm in such a whirl, I said out loud. I walked back and forth through the narrow rooms of our apartment, our haven. I don't know what to think or feel. Who should I talk to? My husband, Hal? Maybe I should wait till he comes home. I don't want to upset him at work. Isn't it enough that one of us is so overwrought? I didn't want to take a chance that Hal might not be able to concentrate. Give him peace for one day. Besides, I had to gather my wits about me. What about my mother? Perhaps she can think back on our family history. I have to call her, I said, punching in the numbers. Hello, my mother said cheerfully. Hi, Mother, it's Kimberly. Darling, how are you? I'm just about to go out with the girls to Atlantic City. My mother would be standing there dressed, ready to go out, maybe primping in her front hallway. She'd wear a pantsuit, perhaps her ivory one with her favorite cameo pin affixed to the lapel. I pictured her whitish hair expertly coiffed. And Hal? And the baby? If everyone is all right, I must run, dear. I'll call you tonight, okay? Maybe I'll hit it lucky. Inhaling a deep breath, I cut in before she hung up. I don't want to disturb you or upset your plans, Mother, but I just came from Aaron's 18-month checkup. Oh? And how is our little Buster doing? I'm not sure, Mother. What do you mean? I pictured my mother straightening her hair in place as she asked. The doctor noticed these coffee-colored birthmarks on Aaron's body. She thinks it might indicate a condition. I have to take him to a pediatric neurologist. What? My mother asked. People have imperfect birthmarks all the time. He's much too young for melanomas. Why a neurologist and not a dermatologist? What else did the doctor tell you about it? Holding my stomach in, I said, she didn't tell me anything except to go to the library and look up this condition in a medical book. Dr. Azaria seemed pretty sure it had to be a neurologist. All right, Kimberly, try not to get hysterical right away. What did you learn from the book? What a time for my mother to criticize me. So tactless. Tourette's of the mouth, one of my friends was fond of calling it when people didn't watch what they said. No boundaries. Hysterical, Mother? This is my baby we're talking about. My one and only child. He can develop tumors at any time from adolescence on. Tumors? My mother asked. Yes, they can develop on top and underneath the surface of the skin. They're all removable and sometimes occur in odd places. That's when the condition becomes problematic. Why am I holding back on the full story, like where the tumors can be? Who am I trying to protect? Will it protect Aaron if I don't discuss possible complications? Will it just go away by not discussing it? I've never heard of anyone from our side who ever had anything like that. Kimberly, he will be all right. I went through so many things when you were growing up. It's a little beyond the ordinary, Mother. A pregnant pause ensued. Do you remember my friend Marla? She's the one who's a head nurse in the radiology department at Mount Eden. Yes. She's taking the day off and coming with us to Atlantic City. I'll tell her, and maybe she can give us some advice. And the gall of that doctor to send you to the library. There are all kinds of quacks. Kimberly, please, do not get yourself into a panic over this. It will work out one way or another. How can I not be in a panic, Mother? I asked her. He's just an innocent little boy. And a wonderful one at that, darling. I think I should still go on the trip with the girls so I can talk to Marla. I promise. I'll call you back tonight and let you know what she says. Okay, Mother, I'll be here. I'm dying and my mother's going to Atlantic City. I walked back into the living room, my silent feet on the carpeted floor, aimless and pacing. Should I lie down? Start looking up pediatric neurologist in the insurance book? Wait for my mother's friend to tell me who to go to? I have to do something. I may go crazy with worry otherwise. Jumping up from the couch, I walked to the closet. The health insurance booklet fell into my arms from the hall closet, and loose papers followed. I thumbed through the list of medical specialists. I read pediatric allergy, endocrinology, and orthopedic surgery. Damn it, there isn't a category listed for pediatric neurology. Then, one page at a time, my eyes finally focused on neurological surgery. There was one doctor listed, a Dr. Neil Feldstein, and he wasn't that far from us. My hands shook and I punched numbers into the phone once again as a nurse picked up. Dr. Feldstein's office. Hi, my name is Kim Siegel. Does Dr. Feldstein evaluate children for neurofibromatosis? I asked, remembering the dreaded name at last. Yes, he does. I need an appointment for my 18-month-old son. As a matter of fact, we just had a cancellation. He can fit you in next Wednesday. Let me see. Yes, at 10 a.m. Okay, we'll take it. I gave her our information. Okay, next Wednesday, 10 a.m., the nurse confirmed. Make sure to bring your insurance cards. See you then. I put the telephone back on the receiver, then I went back into the living room, needing to lie down.